Major drug makers in the U.S. are planning massive price increases this year just because they can. American consumers are about to get hit hard by these increases, forcing more people to choose whether or not their life-saving medications are even worth it, or can they even afford it if they are worth it. So here again, I don't know how many times you and I have done this story. You did a story one time where just a few weeks ago you were talking about, we were both talking about the idea you take a $20,000 markup is not exceptional for drugs. The numbers are startling. Everyday drugs that people have to stay alive, it's not unusual to have a 10, 20, 30,000% markup on the drug.
Right, and there are some drugs here in the U.S. where there is a 500,000% markup, usually heart medications, things that heart patients have to have to survive. And you nailed it in the opening there. They're doing it just because they can.
Yeah.
The cost of research and development has just been decreasing for them over the years because they outsource it. The government pays for most of it. The rest of it they go and buy from colleges and universities where they're already...
The R&D.
Right. They're already doing it, and so they say, okay, we'll give you a $20,000 grant, finish work on this heart medication that you've been developing. Then they buy it from them.
Taxpayers have paid for that.
Right, and then they make billions off of it. So that's where most of the R&D is.
The R&D argument is nonsense.
Right.
It's you don't need a 30,000% markup on something like a heart medicine because of R&D. You need it because you need to buy advertising on MSNBC every night where there's if you watch an hour show, you're going to see 5 pharmaceutical advertisements. Okay, so all of a sudden, Trump, to his credit, said, this isn't right. Trump says we should be able to negotiate with the pharmaceutical industry. Now, Obama said it, totally dropped the ball. Trump has dropped the ball again. Trump tweets about it and he says, I'm mad about it and we ought to do something. But what are you doing? What are you doing? The answer is very simple. For example, if you look at this story, it analyzed where are the drugs being sold. For example, if you take the drugs that are being sold to the correctional institutions that are government financed, well, the government can say, we're not buying it at that rate. You want a 20,000% markup? We're not going to do it. We'll give you a 10% markup or 20% markup. The government, our Congress, has said, no, the feds can't do that, and even some state governments, you can't do that either. That's where this is right now.
Right, and the largest purchasers of pharmaceuticals here in the United States are Medicare and Medicaid, and we, the taxpayers, pay for that. We can't negotiate that as a government. And then you look at places like Canada. They can pay markups of between 1,000 and 2,000%. It still makes those drugs incredibly affordable. You don't have people going into, pharmacy bankruptcy up there. Pharmaceutical companies still getting a 2,000% profit off of selling a pill. Everybody wins. It's still price gouging to an extent.
How about this? I was in Holland taking depositions in the Pradaxa case that we handled nationally. That was it's designed to help take the blood and make it thinner to where people don't have clots. If you have AFib or something like that, people would take Pradaxa to avoid AFib. So I've got one of their people on the on cross-examination and deposition, and I asked him straight out. I said, "Now wait, let me get this right. This pill in America, I don't remember exactly what the number is, but this pill in America cost $25. But in Germany, the pill costs $3. Why is that?" And the man honestly said, because we can. Because we can. Because you got people like Cory Booker, going to run for president, better keep your eye on this guy. Cory Booker says, Cory Booker had a chance to change all this. The Democrats had the votes to change it. They could have put regulations right on top of the pharmaceutical industry and said, if you're going to sell to the government, you're going to have to negotiate. Cory Booker destroyed that. He's the guy that rallied votes to destroy that legislation. So we'd like to think, well, no, it's just Republicans doing that. No, it's Democrats too.
Right, and here with these price hikes that we're looking at, we've got 30 different drug makers, not just 30 different drugs, 30 different drug makers who are planning some sort of increase for their pharmaceuticals this year. We're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of different medications that they said they're going to see increases of 20% at the high level of what we're paying now. Oh, yeah.
Bayer, let's call out names. Bayer wants 5% every year. Novartis wants 14%. Pfizer, they want 14 to 20%. So all of a sudden, here's what they're saying. You say their statement about this is that, gee whiz, we didn't do anything in 2018, right, and because Trump asked us not to, but we're going to ask for it now. There's no need for it. There's they survived. They made more money than they could spend in 2018, but they want to make more in 2019 simply because they can.
Right, yeah, and that's exactly what they're saying is, oh, well, we didn't raise prices on you last year as much as we wanted to. Pfizer did say, the president tweeted at us, we backed off and decided, well, we'll just push it 6 months down the road. Because right now, what's happening? Government shut down. Everything is chaos. We got a new Congress. Nobody could do anything. 800,000 furloughed workers. Nobody's paying attention to this. Nobody's paying attention to Big Pharma right now.
You're going to see a lot of this right now during the shutdown. You're going to see the oil industry come in, which we're going to talk about in a minute, pharmaceutical industry, you name it. All of the bottom feeders are coming in to take as much as they can from the American consumer while all this chaos is taking place.